welcome to another episode of Latrobe's GPL 357, where we are a few degrees short of a full circle. As always, we've got our regular panellists up again there, our co-host Theo Maralakis of the Wood Ducks, Theo, and we are blessed. We're breaking from tradition, we've got rid of the captains, and we've brought in the man behind the bar to give a little bit of the inside word of what's going on at the end of every round. Scotty Willance, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tony.
Just the man we need.
It's the man. We are going to, as always, review the last round. We'll try and find some degrees out there in the course. Scotty will be under the knife. Theo's surgery. We'll have a look at what he can find out from Scotty. We're going to put scoring under the microscope, and then there's no 100-game player, so we'll just go straight into the tips. So we might start this review straight away, and I'll kick it off. And I've got the All-Night Chemists versus the Corruptibles. The Chemists 177 against the Corruptibles 173. Top scorer of the round, the Chemists. Building a bit of momentum just down to the 8 and looking to climb the ladder. And the Corruptibles, their train may have derailed. We'll have to see what this loss does for them. Who have you got there, Scotty?
I've got the Tridents and the Vultures, and another convincing win by the Tridents, 167 to 155. Now I'll ask you two both a question here. How many games have the Ferret and the Vultures won since the new uniform came into play?
The Vultures?
The Vultures.
Or the Ferrets?
No, the Vultures. Sorry, I meant the Vultures.
The Vultures? 0.
Well, that's saying something about that pick uniform, isn't it? They're 4 now the 8, which is a bit unfortunate, and the Tridents just keep on keeping on.
Correct. They do. How about you, Theo?
I've got the Dynasty versus Brother W. The Dynasty got over the line by 5 points, 172 to 167. The Dynasty are 9th, and they need all hands on deck to get into that 8. And the Brother W just struggled all season, just struggled.
Yeah, they're a good side. They just can't seem to get it together. My next match, I've got your group, Theo, the Wood Ducks, who got up over the Buglers by 2, 165 to 163. You wouldn't say it was a blockbusting scoring game. I think the Buglers have finally been found out. They've really stumbled over the line a few times, and not against the old Wood Ducks, who did enough to get the job done with just 165 points. How about you?
Yeah, so I've got the surprise pack of the season, you have to say, the Sewer Rats, who were looking no good about 6 weeks ago, but they've strung 5 wins together. And looks like with the poor old Wanderers, no lead, no Wanderers. So 176 to 158 belting. That is a smashing. 18 points is a smashing in this competition. And the Wanderers were knocked out of the eliminator. So there goes another one by the wayside. Over to you, Theo.
We had the Gunners versus Epic Troop. The Gunners got over the line by 10 points, 177 to 167. The Gunners, they're lifting. The Gunners slowly they are lifting, and Epic Troop they're just slightly.
Yeah, it's an ominous
slowly.
Scotty, how's it all going, mate? Are you enjoying the season so far?
It's been an interesting season so far. The Tunners, well, look, wouldn't be fantastic. They finally got over and won that premiership. I noticed they're 8-1 and just flying. They normally are flying this time of year, but I don't know. They're just going well. The Sewer Rats have been sensational. They've been a good addition to the competition in the last
how's the turnover of the corporate box downstairs outside the Spike Bar? I'm sure the beers are flowing there more regularly now than they were early on.
I'll tell you what, the beers have been flowing quite well in the Spike Bar this season. People aren't going home, they're going about their business, they're looking at the score, seeing where they can win, seeing where they can lose, who's costing them, who's making them win.
Important.
Very important.
Are they beer drinkers, would you say, in general, or do you reckon they might just have a glass of wine?
Who are we talking about here?
Anyone, the whole...
I think we're looking all right. The Tunners, the Buglers, the Sewer Rats have a fair go. Some of the Wood Ducks go all right. One of the Wood Ducks in particular. One of the Wood Ducks...
Matty Sellers?
No, I wouldn't say Matty Sellers. I think he's a Joel Sellers at your team. He keeps carrying you blokes so far. And the Vultures, they can put a few away as well. So.
If we can just go back, I think a couple of weeks ago we had the Sewer Rats in. I believe the Chotch is a man that you haven't seen in a while pay for a beer. He's always in the toilet. That's what they were saying.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, I tell you, that might be true this season, but I've seen
allegedly.
Over the years I've seen him pay for his fair share. So
fair enough.
I think over time it all balances out.
Beautiful.
Oh, no, never did. So one thing we always do during the afternoon is we wander out onto the course and search for a few of those lost degrees, and it's amazing. So we're out here, it's been quite a while since we've been in the Surats corporate box, but have a look at it now. It's populated like you wouldn't believe. How are they travelling, the old sewers?
Yeah, not bad. We've had a 39, 37 in, so I think we're 170 at the moment, a few to go this afternoon, so we're quietly confident, Kraz.
There's a lot of chatter here. They seem to be on the rats now.
Look, we haven't let the Wally Walls bloke come into our corporate box.
Well, you did a number on us there a couple of weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Jimmy, 36 today,
36 today. It could have been a bit better at the time, but left a couple out there the last couple of holes, mate. So
defence going beautifully.
We've got the Phoenix, I think, so they might come out and score something decent this week, do you think?
Come on, mate, they're coming last.
It doesn't matter, mate. You know what it's like when it doesn't matter what position on the ladder you're at.
Yeah, it's very true. Don't take them easy. But I don't believe it. This is how well the Corruptibles are going when Dean Pinataro has put on the uniform finally. And doesn't look magnificent. How are you playing?
Yes. Oh, not too bad. Back to square now. Yeah,
magnificent.
Pretty happy, yeah.
Responding to the uniform's
I've copped a
aura.
lot of backlash from the Corruptibles, Tony, over this shirt, and I thought I'll bring it out today. It's a nice, beautiful day.
This is magnificent.
I don't want to get it wet, so...
Look, it's
perfect.
just beautiful. It's a 100-game play.
So here we are again.
This is a tribe of Corruptibles. Here they are playing with the 200-game players. Phil Barry, are they lifting for you?
Well, I would like to say I'm lifting for myself, but looking at that video clip of that you had on the 360 degrees the other day, I thought I've lost that swing. That's an ugly swing.
It is.
I found it again.
It's only 357 degrees actually. We're a few short. Did you note that Dean Pinataro's out in the shirt today? First time ever? Which is magnificent.
It is the perfect day. I never thought it would happen, but we certainly need to take a photo of it because.
Oh, I already have. Don't worry about that.
All right.
I might go and see Ed and see another great shot, Ed, in the 100th game, just showing them all how it's done.
Oh, how are you, Tony?
Not too bad, mate. You playing well?
Yes, well, I've had some advice. I spoke with the people at Essendon yesterday, and they've given me the right peptide, so it looks like I've had a hot day today.
They've probably got a bit left over. I don't think the program went as long as they planned.
Don't think it did either.
Anyways, here's the spiritual leader. He can lift the spirits.
Well, good?
Oh, if you like it 35, 40 yards wide of the target,
Oh.
yes, good.
Oh, okay.
All the best, guys. Well, the old magic of the Corruptible shirt didn't really pull the milestone game of the line. Ed Doherty and Phil Berry tasting defeat in their 100th games. We'll have to see if they can turn around this week. One more review from me to go. I've got the Tunners at the top of the table versus the Ferrets. This was a cracking game. The Tunners 172, 1 point victors over the Ferrets. They're 2 games clear. I suggest, Scotty, that you start alerting the brewery, because if they win this thing, it's going to be a big night. The Ferrets, their 3rd 1 point loss this season. It's a season that's just going from bad to worse. I don't think they can turn it around. Who you got there, Theo?
I've got the Phoenix versus Wally World. The Phoenix are becoming a little bit of a laughing stock of the GPL community. They need Sarong back, that's for sure. They lost 174 to 171 against Wally World. The defence back on track, Wally World.
I never thought I'd hear the words, they will need Sarong back. Georgie, that would be hard to swallow with you usually early in the morning. But now we've got Scotty in the chair. We might pass him over to Theo, who might just delve a little bit deeper and do a bit of surgery on the great man. Over to you, Theo.
Do you have a reason? Do you have a reason for me?
Who is a consistent player you need to cancel mentally after their round?
Cancel mentally after their round. Oh, gee whiz.
60 seconds.
There's a few people. So I can't.
Name one.
Oh, I think I should say Dale Streeter.
All right, no worries. Any guesstimates on this year premiers and wooden spooners?
I think I'll go out on a limb. I say the Phoenix will be the wooden spooners, and the Tunners. I'd love to see the Tunners win it because Brewery. So the brewery will have to be alerted.
Name a player that's not going to get a vote in the Charlesville Trophy. Straight into the lens.
Straight into the lens. Theo Marillac.
Being a surgery net itch into your brain, who's going to win the Charlesville Trophy this year?
Ooh, tough question. One, I'll go maybe the captain of the club, who's actually played quite well this year. I think Tim Stray's had a pretty good season.
Timmy Stray.
Even though his boys aren't going as well as he'd like.
That's a ripping answer.
That's actually not too bad there, Scotty. 1 minute, you're sweating up a little, but it's good to see. What I'd like to actually put under the microscope, we're going into round 10. The scoring, only 2 scores of 180 or more in the last 4 rounds. The scoring is definitely worse this year than ever before. I think the course is harder, the weather is stronger and tougher, and the slope rating is get those handicaps down to a point where it's a little unnerving for some. What I've got to say to all, especially these teams just outside the 8, is the members, don't give up. Your score can count if you grind out your rounds. You can make a difference to your side. So if you want premiership glory, fight for every shot out there, because you never know where things will turn around. So with that, guys, let's move into the tips. Round 10, 6 rounds to go before the finals. The Tunners versus Wally World. This is the top of the table clash. The Tunners, I'm actually going to go for Wally World. Sorry to the Lennox boys. They've been very consistent. They're the top scoring team, and I think Wally World will just get over in an absolute cracker.
Well, the boys at the bar aren't going to like me because I agree with you, Tony. I think the Wally will just. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, I'm with you, boys. Wally World.
Don't worry, I'll hear about this on the card on Saturday afternoon if they're going well.
You're not the only one. The Ferrets versus the Corruptibles. The Corruptibles a bit wobbly, but I think I'll stick on them for 1 more week at least. The Corruptibles for me.
Yeah, the Corruptibles, despite their shirt.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Corruptibles also. I think they're too strong in this one.
Phoenix versus the Wood Ducks. Sarong's not back, so it's got to be the Wood Ducks.
Ooh. No, I tend to think the Phoenix, look, the Wood Ducks surprised a lot last week, beating Buglers, but can they do it 2 weeks in a row? I doubt it. I think the Phoenix will have a surprise win this week.
Oh, really? Wood Ducks for me, I think they'll get over the line comfortably.
You've just backed them for the wooden spoon and then predicted them to win.
That just shows how much faith I have in the Wood Ducks.
There's the limit. The All-Night Chemists versus F-Troop. Chemists got a bit of momentum. I think the Chemists might get over the top of the troop.
Yeah, I think All Night Chemists, Vinny's boys are doing well now. They're starting to get a bit of momentum into their season.
Yeah, All Night Chemists for me also. F-Troop are doing something wrong this year. I don't know what it is. But
look, they've had a glimmer of hope. Would be only the Buglers versus the Brother W's again. Brother W's for me, they have potential, so I'm going Brother W's in a bit of an upset.
Buglers for me, they'll be too strong. Most of the boys back from their pennant season now, so I think they'll be very strong with Buglers.
Might be flat from that.
Well, I don't know, I think they'll be fired up, I reckon, a few of them.
Yeah, Buglers for me, I reckon this is a percentage game for them.
Ooh.
Gunners versus the Vultures. Vultures struggling with their shirts. Yeah, Gunners for me, they're building again.
Yeah, Gunners for me.
Gunners for me, I'm not going to get into the Vultures. Polo.
Dynasty against the Wanderers. I know Lee's back, I believe, on the weekend. Dynasty, this will be a great match actually. The Wanderers in a cliffhanger. For me, the Wanderers.
Just look at the scores for the season. I think the Dynasty for me. Yes, I think Dynasty will win this one against the Wanderers.
I'm going to the Wanderers. They've been kicked out of the eliminator. They'll be sore from it, and they'll be looking to bounce back.
They will be. And finally, the Tridents against the Surats. This could very well be the match of the round. It's 5 versus 2. Surats with so much momentum against the Tridents that just seem to do enough each week. I'm riding the Surats home on this one.
I'm going to be very popular with another group of the drinkers. I'm actually going the Tridents. I think the Surats have been good, but I think the Tridents are just very consistent.
I'm going to go the Tridents. I think they'll be way too strong this week.
Well, there we go. So that wraps up the tips for round 10. We are almost 2/3 of the way through the season. Thanks, Scotty, for your in-depth analysis from behind the bar. Theo, as always, insightful. And don't forget, if you want to win this thing, you need to turn up and play well. This has been Latrobe's GPL 357, and we'll see you next week. See you then.
So,
See you guys.